Now, if you don't like technology and carp fishing, it might be worth skipping this video, because today we are looking at the new Icon Q2 alarms from Wolf. And if I'm honest, I think we've probably got enough comments on our channel saying, what has carp fishing come to? But if you do like technology and carp fishing, then it's worth sticking around, because these alarms are absolutely packed with it. Now, if I'm being completely honest, when it comes to doing videos on Wolf's alarms, I do actually struggle. And that's basically because there's so much packed into them, which is great for you guys, not so good for me to try and get all these features through to you. So I'm not sure if you remember, I think it was about a year ago, I'd done a video on the QI alarms and the hub, which are basically the flagship range from Wolf. These Q2s are a slightly cheaper version, but they still share a lot of similar features to the QIs. So if you're looking for a slightly cheaper alternative, then these guys are the ones to go for. So I'm going to do a similar sort of concept to what I've done in that video and pick out the 5 main points which I think you need to know about these alarms. For more information, obviously, you can check out the Wolf website, and that gives you all the specs. I don't know if you can see him, I've got a couple of really friendly robins around here that was taking food out of my hand earlier, and makes it a little bit difficult to concentrate. But let's jump in, let's have a look at 5 things that you need to know about these Wolf Q2 alarms. Now, I think the first thing to talk about really is the sensitivity options. Now, there are 5 different options, and these range from 2mm all the way up to 60mm. So quite a range. Obviously there's different increments in between, but they're nice and easy to adjust. You can either do it through the head itself, or you can do it through the receiver that we come onto in a separate video. But if you're doing it through the head, we'll just turn this on. You've got one button on the side. This is like your menu button, so this is how you control most of the alarm. But to change the sensitivity, all you've got to do is just press it, and the LEDs will flash a different amount of times depending what sensitivity you've got it on. So it's nice to have that range if you're fishing for really finicky bites, and the 2mm is really useful. Or if you're fishing, say, zigs or something, and you've got a tight line and you're fishing locked up, you've only got that little bit of movement, you'll know that you've got that movement. But again, if you're fishing something like a river or fast flowing water, then it's useful to have that 60mm option as well. Like I say, there are increments in between as well, so you can tweak it to however your session dictates that you want your sensitivity. So yeah, really useful feature. And the other thing to mention about the sensitivity options is the recoil elimination. So basically this works in a way that the alarm is clever enough to realise if you're getting a few mil of movement out, a few mil back, and it's constant like that, the alarm picks up that it's probably wind or something like that causing it rather than a bite, so then you don't get loads of false beeps. So there's more technology to it, obviously, but that's a basic overview of how the recoil elimination works. So really clever alarms, and like I say, completely tweakable when it comes to your sensitivity and your bite indication. So I think the next thing to move on to are the different LED options, and to be honest, I don't really know where to start. There's so many different options. I think the first thing to mention is probably that they are super bright LEDs. So it doesn't matter what the weather conditions are like, if it's bright sunshine, you're going to be able to see exactly what's happening with your rods and with your alarms. You can tweak these as well, so if they are too bright, obviously if it's a duller day like this, then you can tweak them down a little bit so they're not as bright. Again, this is all done through the receiver that we do a separate video on, but really useful to not have that issue of, oh, is something lit up? I don't really know. You're not going to have any doubt if these are lit up. If you've got them in the bright mode on a bright day, then you're going to be able to see them. And going on from that, basically the LEDs are slightly raised, so it doesn't matter where you are in the swim, you're going to be able to see them. You don't have to be looking dead on your alarms to actually see that they've lit up. So that's a really nice little feature. It's something simple, but a lot of alarms don't have just that little bit of simplicity added to them. So really nice little feature. The LEDs are fully customizable in terms of color as well. So you've got 4 colors to choose from. You've got red, green, blue and yellow. So they're easy to cycle through. All you've got to do, hold the menu button, and then you can tweak through the different colors using the volume button, the volume knob. So once you've found the color that you want, you just press the menu button again, and then that will lock in the color to the alarm head, but also that will lock in the color to the receiver. So basically whatever you do to the alarm head, we'll then change the receiver. Coming on from that, you have got a nightlight feature as well. Again, completely tweakable, so you can change the colour, and that sits just below where your rod will actually sit. So yeah, really nice little feature to have a nightlight. And then obviously you can change the latching LED as well. So after you've had a bit of activity on your alarm, the LEDs at the top will flash, but you can set the duration. So you can set from 5-second latching LED all the way up to 60 seconds. So again, easily tweakable through the receiver, but it makes it quite useful because if it's, say it's during the day, you don't need that latching LED to be on so long, because generally you'll be around your rods and you'll know what's going on. But if it's at night, sometimes obviously it's a bit harder, it takes a little bit more time to be able to actually look out and see what's happening. So if you wanted it on for longer at night and then shorter during the day, it's just an easy tweak through the receiver. I think that's a lot of the LED options covered. There's probably more. Again, if you go to the Wolf website, you'll find a lot more information, but as an overview, I think that's the LED section done. This next point is probably more relevant now than it's ever been. Obviously, we all like products that are made in the UK. Generally, they're manufactured to a higher quality, parts are generally better, they last that bit longer, and quality control is generally higher because it's all done in-house. But after how the last couple of years have been, like I say, it's more relevant now than ever. You guys have probably found it, I've definitely found it from working in the industry. Products are hard to come by. With obviously COVID, there's been a lot of issues with getting product over from China, and then Brexit, there's been a lot of issues with products from Europe. Products that are made in the UK is very, very important at the moment. You'll have no issues with stock, you have no issues when it comes to returns if you need to return them for whatever reason. You've got a UK base to contact, you're just relying on everything on this small little island. So yeah, it's very, very important at the moment. All of the Icon alarms are made in the UK, whether it's the Q2s, the QIs, all the receivers, the hubs, everything is UK manufactured. So like I say, more important now than ever, and definitely a point worth mentioning in this video. So the next thing to talk about is the battery life, and battery life is something we talk about a lot when it comes to alarms, because you want to know how many sessions it's going to last you. I think you'll be quite surprised. Obviously they've got a lot of features, so you'd probably expect the battery life not to be as great as some, but these actually last 1,000 hours, which that's a mega amount of time. If you translate that into actual sessions, say it's a 24-hour session, it's going to last you nearly 42 24-hour sessions, which I don't know about you guys, but for me that's definitely more than my year's angling allowance. So yeah, to get at least a year's fishing out of one set of batteries is really good going, and that's basically thanks to a low power mode that these come with as default. As soon as you turn it on, they enter a low power mode. They take AA batteries, so each alarm takes 3 AA batteries. So again, you haven't got to worry about buying expensive batteries. You can get them from a pound shop, probably a pack of 20 for about £1 or something. So yeah, to get a year's angling for £1's worth of batteries, it's pretty good going. So the final point is going to be a bit of a summary about some of the other features that you get with these alarms. So as you'd expect with any other top-end alarms, obviously we've talked about the sensitivity and how you can tweak it. You get your volume and tone controls, you've got rubber inserts here to stop the rods actually slipping out of the rest, you've got space with beta lights underneath, you get drop back differentiation, you've got your stainless steel thread on the back, just like the higher end Icons. You've got the IQ port, the smart port, you've got a mute setting, so if you're setting your rods you can mute them. You've basically got everything you'd expect from a top end set of alarms plus more. These retail at £179 per head, or if you are looking to get a set of 3 and say the Hub QR for example, which I've got here with me, you can get a set of 3 with the receiver for about £649 retail. So like I say, if you're looking for an entry into the Icon range without having to pay full whack, then these are well worth checking out. But like I said, I'm going to do another video at some point on this Icon QR Hub. But for now, if you want any more information about these products, then check out the Wolf website. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.